Welcome in, everybody, to a new series that we got, Luxury versus Thrift, or as we like to call it around here, Name Brand versus the Shit Brand. Tonight we're going to look at Jefferson, Mr. Justin Jefferson, versus one Deontay Johnson. Adam, hit us with them hard facts about Justin Jefferson, the Name Brand, and the Shit Brand, Deontay Johnson.
Absolutely, man. So Justin Jefferson, in the discussion of the 1A, 1B in startups, right? Deontay Johnson, often slept on, it feels like, year in and year out, no matter what he does. So what I want to do is go through the weeks for you, compare every single week in one versus the other, off-brand, name brand, and let you know what the stats say and let you form your own opinions based on the video after. So week 1, Deontay Johnson actually gets the win versus Justin Jefferson. Week 2, Deontay Johnson gets the win versus Justin Jefferson. Both are wide receiver 2s. Week 3, Justin Jefferson finally gets a win. Deontay Johnson didn't play. So, of course, Justin Jefferson's going to get the win. Week 4, both of them are wide receiver 1s. And, surprisingly, Deontay Johnson gets the win. Justin Jefferson, they're both wide receiver 2s, and he gets the win. Justin Jefferson. Deontay Johnson, as they're both wide receiver 2s again, gets the win. That's now 4 weeks in the first 6 that Deontay Johnson has beat Justin Jefferson head-to-head. One of the reasons I wanted to have these two is because they both had the Week 7 bye. We skipped past that. Week 8, Deontay Johnson yet again. Wide receiver 2 gets the win, while Justin Jefferson is a wide receiver 7. Wide receiver 77 on the week. Week 9. This is where things start to go in Justin Jefferson's favor a little bit. Week 9, Justin Jefferson gets the win. They're both wide receiver 2s. Week 10, Justin Jefferson's a wide receiver 1. Deontay's a wide receiver 2. Week 11, Justin Jefferson is the wide receiver 1 overall. Deontay Johnson is the wide receiver 5, but Justin Jefferson nonetheless gets the win. Week 12, Deontay Johnson. He's a wide receiver 1. Justin Jefferson's a wide receiver 3. Week 13, interestingly enough, both wide receiver 1s. And Mike, check this out. The wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 on the week. So Justin Jefferson's going to get the win, but they're both beating every other wide receiver out there.
Damn.
Week 14, Justin Jefferson, he's a wide receiver 1. He wins. Deontay Johnson's a wide receiver 3. Week 15, Jefferson wins. He's a wide receiver 2. Deontay's a wide receiver 3. Week 16, they're both wide receiver 2s. Justin Jefferson gets the win. Week 17, Deontay's a wide receiver 2. Justin Jefferson's a wide receiver 3. So, all that summarized gives you Deontay Johnson head-to-head versus Justin Jefferson, 7-9. Now, think about this, Mike. So, Justin Jefferson wins that edge 7-9. And we admitted one of his wins was wide receiver 1 versus wide receiver 2 on the week.
Mm-hmm.
So if you said those were flip-flop, you're talking about 8-8, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Really close. Now, here's the crazy part. So points per game difference, right, is 19.5 to 17.2, which is 2.3 in points per game difference when you factor in all the highs and lows. So this is the other crazy part, Mike. Justin Jefferson had 6 wide receiver 1 weeks. Deontay Johnson had 4. Wide receiver 2 weeks. They both had 12. Guess who missed your lineup more, though?
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson.
Whoops.
Now, think about that for a second. Deontay Johnson and Justin Jefferson are treated as, like, Deontay Johnson, if you talk about him in the same name as Justin Jefferson, he's got leprosy. Like, there's a big gap between the two. Now, I also didn't want to use Chase because it's like, oh, he's a rookie, he's going to get better. Jefferson was in his sophomore season. Deontay was in his junior season, right? Like, these aren't rookies. We're just utilizing these stats here, Mike. So with those things in mind, I want to kick it to you and talk about the value, what our friends over at Keep Trade Cut have to say.
Oh, man. Well, let's look it up. Keep Trade Cut. Crowdsourced. It's fantastic. Justin Jefferson for Deontay Johnson. Do you know Keep Trade Cut tells you what you need to add to Deontay Johnson in order to get Justin Jefferson, Adam? It's disgusting.
Oh, no. What do we have?
Well, it starts off with Lamar Jackson, maybe Kyle Murray, Kyle Pitts,
Oh,
Najee Harris, DeAndre Swift. Now, if I just take those out, we're looking for a player realistically. They put a value on Justin Jefferson of 8,973. Deontay Johnson, 4,723. So if I just kind of find something that's got about 4,200 in value, I'm not sure what that's going to be, but let's just do some searching here.
let's do it.
Maybe like a Michael Pittman, maybe?
Yeah, what does Pittman say?
Oh, Michael Pittman. Actually ranked higher than Deontay Johnson.
Wow. Wow.
So you're adding Deontay to Michael Pittman to go get Justin Jefferson. Ah,
What does it say if you put them both in?
if you put them both in, it still favors team one. You need to add another
Wow.
player because they have that stupid value adjustment, and nobody knows what the hell goes into that.
No. It's basically something like saying that you have to add something egregious to go get a stud, which is
Yeah.
that's saying you have to go add a better stud to Deontay Johnson to get Jefferson. It's ridiculous.
Players to even this trade. Deontay Johnson, Michael Pittman for Justin Jefferson. You need to add a Stephon Diggs, a Brees Hall, a Joe Mixon, a Devontae Adams, or Austin Eckler. Still,
Mike, a 3-for-1. A 3-for-1. Give me Michael Pittman, Deontay Johnson, and Stephon Diggs, and you could maybe have Justin Jefferson.
absolutely fucking insane. Keep trade cut.
So there's our friends over at Keep Trade Cut. And
Let's get to some
Mike,
realistic fucking deals.
Mike, I was not expecting the numbers one to be that close
No.
for Deontay and Jefferson running through the numbers.
I don't want anybody to confuse it. We're not making the argument of Deontay Johnson is the exact same as Justin Jefferson. I just don't think that there's the value difference between a guy who's valued in the first round and a guy who you can get in the fourth or fifth round. Right? There's not that big of a discrepancy. They should actually be a lot fucking closer.
Mike, this is a perfect reason why it's the name brand versus the off brand, because no one's buying the off brand if it's the same fucking price, right? If the off brand is $350 and the name brand's $350, I'll take the name brand.
For sure.
But the reality is there's a discount, and is it worth it? Now, let's be reasonable for a second here before we get the fuck out of here, right? Like, what would you need? What would I need? What would we prefer to add in a lineup league and a best ball league? And, you know, ultimately, you guys can make the decision for yourself. Is it worth the down tier? But the down tier king is with me, so I ask him, you know, what do you need?
Give me a first, 2023. As long as I know it's not the 110, the 111, or the 112 guaranteed lock, I will take the shot on just a generic 23 first. And to be honest, I'll even get crustier. I'll take the shot on a generic 24 first to go from my Justin Jefferson to Deontay Johnson.
Love it. Love it. Now, I think the reality too is that's where we're at. I'll take a mid 23 first on top. You give me that for plus Deontay, I'll take that for my Justin Jefferson. Now, market probably tells you can get more, even if it's not the egregious, give me Najee too. But these are perfect examples of, listen, if you have the name brand Justin Jefferson and you are thinking about how do I get more value on my team, that's one of the first places we start with name brand wide receivers, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. If you're willing to go down to Deontay, you may be surprised in your leagues what you can get on top of it. You might be able to get two 23 first, Mike. You might be able to get a 23 and a 24. I bet you even if you put that in on Keep Trade Cut, a generic 23 and a generic 24, they might even still tell you it's Justin Jefferson.
For
so
sure. Yep.
Go take a look in your leagues. If you have shares of these players and you're interested in getting deeper and better on your team, explore the down tiers. Take a look at the off brand, the shit brand, if you will, and see what you can get on top of it.
Hell yeah. Always. Give me 2 pieces of the shit brand versus 1 piece of the name brand. If I can get it
Always.
all the time. And like you mentioned, you can probably ask for more and you might be able to get more. That's going to do it here for name brand or shit brand, or that's more politically correct and better for the kids at home. Luxury versus thrift. Even better. And if you like what you got here, we're going to keep coming at you with these. Make sure that you like and subscribe, comment away, tell us what you think. And if you want more from us, patreon.com/South Harmon, get you in the door. It's going to do it for us right here. Peace.
Peace.